Good evening all, welcome back to Shaving with Peg Leg, and yes, I said good evening. It is damn near 8 o'clock here. Busy today again, just getting to my head shave, so it is what it is. Sometimes it happens that way. Alright, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you all. Hello to the new subscribers. Hello to everybody that has been subscribed. I appreciate everybody's attendance. For head shave. Yep. I was just getting one last view of it before getting into it. Wet the dome. Use my Pears. Get it wet. I'll be surprised if I don't drop this because I've dropped everything else. Everything I brought off the shelf for this shave, I have dropped. The only thing that hasn't hit the floor, well, some of it didn't hit the floor. Some of it just fell into the sink, off the counter into the sink. But the razor is the only thing that didn't really fall. This is another one of those days. I had to re-shampoo the carpets in Mom's room because I didn't like the way they came out the first time. As you saw from the thumbnail, Proraso 28mm Maseto badger hair. Proraso aftershave and lotion, but I still have a little bit of sample aftershave left, so I will use that one instead of opening the brand new bottle. Oh, just one of those days. A little thick, a little pasty. Well, when I was mixing it in the bowl, it really didn't lather up much, and I was like, there's plenty of water in there, because I know the brush was still really wet, and I added some, and it just wasn't lathering up, just wasn't blooming. It's like, what the hell's going on? So I pulled the brush out and I looked at it, and that soap was just embedded down into the brush. And I'm like, okay. So the brush was eating the soap again. And it's okay, that's fine. At least I know where the soap is and I can get it on my head. And we can do this. Right? See? Now we can get it to boom up. Besides that, there's nothing like a good head massage with a brush. Oh yeah. Mucho good. I believe it's the 110B bean. 110B. I'll have it in the description. It's the West Coast shaving brush or razor. Excuse me, guys. I am whipped. I was debating going to bed early or doing the shave. You guys won. The shave won. All right, with the grain front back to front, and yes, my door is open because it was a wee bit hot in here, and I didn't fill my tub to rinse my razor, so we'll do that now. Sorry you have to hear that. Like I said, it's just not been there today. Well, let's put that, it's not been there tonight because I've been I'm using a Gillette sharp edge blade. That's the one that's the 7 o'clock sharp edge. The one's in the yellow box. I'm not reaching over there to pull the box out. It's yellow box. Trust me, I already checked. And it's in the picture. So there. Oh, I know you guys have been like this too. You just so over the day. You just want it done with, and everything is just not right. It's just, it's not that it was anything was really wrong today. It was just little crap, you know. I was shampooing the rug again, and the shampooer decided to come apart. There's a plastic piece on the bottom. You squeeze the trigger as you're going forward, and it lays down the water and the soap. So then you release the trigger and pull it back, and it sucks it all up. Well, the piece that it sucks it all up through decided it was going to come loose, and it was rattling around in the shampooer head. So I had to stop what I was doing. I had to take it out on the porch because I didn't want it dripping all over the house, right? I had to take it out on the porch, take both water tanks off, the clean and the dirty, turn it upside down, see what was wrong with it first, because I just heard it make a noise. I didn't know what was doing it. Saw what was making noise, and I was like, okay. And I'm looking at this plastic piece. It's about yay long, about that wide, with a funnel system in it. It's open between these two pieces. Piece here, and then open in between. And it all goes up into one hole that sucks everything through it, up into the dirty water tank. It's like, you couldn't have put 2 small screws to hold this in place. You just had to use tension. 2 other pieces of plastic. It's got 2 tabs on it that stick out, and it's got on each side, each end, it's got 1 tab sticking out like that. And then the head of it, the machine itself, has 2 plastic clips that come down like, and you pop it into the plastic clip. And you couldn't have made those out of metal, because you know they're plastic. They're going to wear out, and they're going to pop, and they're going to break, and then you're going to be screwed, and you're going to have to end up buying another one. Or you couldn't have just used 2 screws to hold it in place. Really, two little clip-in screws, 2 little Phillips head screws. It would have held it in place and been done with, and good forever. I swear, people look at stuff anymore and go, okay, we can make that, but how cheap can we make it? That's the question. We don't care how long it lasts. We don't care if it breaks 5 minutes after they get it. How cheap can we make it? Yes, that was a mini rant. I might have more. Hang on. There might be more ranting to come. But I'm sure you guys have thought the same thing. You've gotten something, you've had to put it together, and you've looked at it and gone, could you make it any cheaper? I'll be lucky if this thing lasts until I get done using it the first time. I'm sure you've had that thought, because I know I sure as hell have. Put it together, you spend the time to put it together, and the directions They say follow the directions. It would help if the directions were correct on some of these things. Do you guys remember, there used to be the meme going around, oh God, it must have been 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. They made it, there was a game out and it was Chinese. And it was like alien invasion type thing or whatever. And the big funny line that everybody quoted from it was, all your bases belonging to us. Do you remember that? And I think those are the same guys that make the instructions for some things, how to put it together. All your bases belonging to us. Alright, cross the grain. How's your weather doing, guys? You getting warmer finally? Are you guys finally done with all your snow? Because I know, was it last week or something? Some of you guys are still getting snow. Are you done with all that crap now? You finally starting to get some warm weather? Because if you're not, I'll send you some. There's a meme out there that I absolutely love that is 100% factual. Has a picture of the sun. It says sun on it, underneath it. Sun. S-U-N. Sun. It's a picture of the earth. It says earth under it. E-A-R-T-H. Earth. And then right in the middle it says Florida. Has outlined the state of Florida. And it's absolutely 100% correct. It's hotter in Arizona. Bull crap. Temperature wise, yes, you may be hotter. Our feels like down here because of the humidity. When you're standing in the shade and it's 93 degrees out with 95% humidity, and you're standing in the shade out of the sun, and your clothes look like you just stepped out of a swimming pool while wearing them, it's hotter in Florida than it is in Arizona. I've been in dry heat when it was 100 degrees, and when you sweat, it evaporates off you. It forms up and gone, disappears. You don't even realize you're sweating because it just vanishes right off your skin. Florida heat is totally different. You don't, in Florida, when you come home after you've worked outside all day, and I used to work outside, I did construction in the summer down here, that was freaking miserable. When you come home from work, you don't come home and take your clothes off. You go in the garage, you take your clothes off. If you worked outside all day in Florida, you come home, you go in the garage, you take your clothes off, and you wring them out over the laundry tub, the sink in the kitchen, in the garage next to the washer and dryer. You wring them out before you do anything, because they are saturated. And then of course the second thing you do when you get home is you pop a beer, but I didn't drink beer. So with the grain, or excuse me, against the grain, front to back. But yeah. I'll tell you what's even more fun. I used to work on we put in overfills at gas stations. It was back right when they first changed the laws in the state, and they had to monitor how much gas was leaking out of the gas tanks in the ground at the gas stations to see how much was getting into the ground and then eventually getting into the water table. So they had to put monitoring wells in around the tanks, and we were doing that. And we got a per diem for every day we were out of town. So we get a hotel room, get food and whatnot. Well, the mistake the company made at first, but we corrected that, is they gave all the money, everybody's per diem money, to the crew leader instead of giving everybody their own per diem money. They gave it to the crew leader. Now, I happen to be fortunate enough to be on a crew where the crew leader at the end of the shift used everybody's crew money to buy 3 or 4 12 packs of beer and a bag of ice to keep it on, because he brought a cooler. We didn't have to pay for the cooler, but yeah, that's what he used our per diem money on. So we didn't have enough left over. We had enough to get lunch, we had enough to get dinner, but we didn't have enough left over to get a hotel room. Even combined, we didn't have enough to share a room, because he was spending all of our money on beer. I have spent many a summer night when it was 87, 88, 89 degrees at night, sleeping on 80-pound bags of concrete in the back of a 22-foot box truck. Because dipshit spent our money on beer. Now, granted, I didn't drink beer back. I've never been a big beer fan. Okay, so I wasn't even drinking beer back then. Spending my hotel room money on beer, and the other 3 guys would sit around and get drunk every night on my hotel room money. Couldn't have a shower. You rinsed off using a hose that we had hooked up, because we always had a place where we'd get water. We hooked up our hose. You rinsed off. You rinsed your clothes off while wearing them. Then you went into the back of the truck and you changed out of your wet clothes, took a towel and dried yourself off and put on your clothes that you're going to wear the next day for work. And you took your clothes that you rinsed off in and you hung them outside overnight. You just laid them on the hood of the truck, basically, so that they would dry, because it was hot enough for them to dry. Oh, I just doing my problem area. Sorry, I'm talking. Got carried away. So that they would dry, so you would have semi-clean clothes the next day for work. Because see, what we were doing is, me and 2 other guys on the crew, not the leader guy, he was by himself, is we get the hotel, we get a room, we'd share the, one night we'd double up in one bed and one guy'd sleep alone. The next night another guy would sleep alone and the other two doubled up. Every third night you got the bed by yourself. But we were able to get a hotel room, get a shower, and the hotel rooms usually had washers and dryers. Or if not, we'd wash our clothes in the sink or the tub or whatever and dry and put them out to dry, and or put them in the dryer, and we'd have clean clothes. I mean, we had a system, we had it down. And then our crews got broken up and got shuffled around. And I ended up with a different crew, and then the other crew leader, and he was our other crew. The first crew leader I had, he didn't spend our money. He gave us our money so we could get our hotel rooms and stuff and our food, and he didn't ever play that I'm gonna buy beer game with your money. The other guy, I got put on his crew. My God. It was like, do you guys do this? Do you do that? You know, no. Nobody wanted to do it either. It's like, oh, we got our thing, we do. And it's like, okay. Then I found out what the thing was. They buy beer every night. Yeah. I had 1 week out of town with that. And when I got back into town, well, we didn't ever come back until late Friday night, like 10, 11 o'clock at night on Friday. And none of the office staff was there on Saturday. Some of the guys would come in and work in the yard on Saturday. Stock their trucks, fix their trucks, do whatever. But none of the office people were there. That wasn't there till Monday when we were getting ready to get sent back out. And I said something to the boss then. And he's like, what? Yeah. Slept in the back of a box truck. Well, that's not supposed to happen. You frickin' think? So, one of the other guys did step up and say, he was one of the ones that drank beer, but he did say it was BS. He just went along with the beer drinking because what was he going to do? This money was already spent. So yeah, that got changed too. He said, well, guess we'll have to give you guys your per diem individually before you go out. It's like, that'd be a good idea. Through here, probably, but I can't get the back. For some reason, it just will not. I've already rinsed the soap. This is going to be a dry shave. It's not cutting it. It's still there. So that razor's not going to work on the back of my head in my channel. Alright. Alum block. Oh, the crazy stuff we go through, huh, gentlemen? Of course, I was married at the time, and you think I would get money to go out of town on? I was not allowed to have money to go out of town on. She allowed me $20 for the whole week to make up for you got per diem for lunch and dinner in a hotel room, but you didn't get per diem for breakfast. So I had $20 to eat breakfast on for a whole week. Back then things were a bit cheaper too, but still. So I didn't have a lot of money to just say, screw you, I'm going to get a hotel room anyways. Plus, the truck was parked on the site we were working on, and it was the only transportation we had. So, it wasn't like... Oh, there was nothing. It was cold and wet. It wasn't like I could just go get a hotel room. Which, Hazel? It wasn't all bad. We had some fun times. We did. We had to put in fill spouts for the tanks, because a lot of the tanks back then had a 2-inch pipe and it needed to be a 4-inch, so that when the tanker trucks came to drop the gas off, they had to have a coupling on top, a 4-inch coupling to hook to the hose coming off the truck to the pipe, clamp on so it wouldn't leak gas, so none would spill out. And it had to be a 4-inch coupling, and you couldn't dump gas into a 2-inch pipe that way. It had to be so we had to go down to the tanks, stick down to the tanks, spin the pipe off, and put a 4-inch pipe in. All the tanks had a big nut in the top of them that the 2-inch pipe fit in. If you spun that nut off, it was a 4-inch hole. So we had to do that. One of the new guys, he's digging the hole. We're at a station where as soon as you started digging in the grass, you could smell the gasoline. That's how they've been seeping into the ground. You could smell it. Well, he's about 4 feet, 5 feet down in the hole, digging down around the pipe so that we get down and get a wrench on it and spin it off and put a new pipe on. He's about 4 feet down, maybe 5, and he's smoking a cigarette, and all you could smell standing over the top of the hole is gas fumes. It's like, I walked up and the dude's down there with a cigarette, and I'm like, dude, give me that. He's like, what? Don't you have any? I said, just give me the cigarette. Because I didn't want him to put it in the ground to stomp it out, because he was afraid to catch the ground on fire. So I took the cigarette from him, and it's way over on the concrete, way over there. Got rid of it. He's like, what'd you do that for? I said, dude, can you not smell the gasoline? You're standing on a flipping bomb, and you're smoking a cigarette. Well, I lit it with no problem. I said, thank God, because we'd all be dead right now. All right, Proraso. Aftershave. Yeah, down in the hole, and dirt saturated with gasoline for how many years? Decades? Who the hell knows? You could just smell it. As you walked up, you could smell the gas coming up off the earth. It's like, and he's smoking a cigarette. I'm like, Proraso balm. Alright, I don't know how this is going to come out, so I'm going to be careful. Okay, that's more than enough. It's not real runny, but yep, it smells just like sandalwood. That's good stuff right there. Yeah, he's standing there smoking a cigarette in the ground. I'm like, my eyes, I swear to God, my eyes were about that big around when I saw that. Because I was like, walking up, and I thought I saw smoke come out, and I was like, no, he wouldn't be smoking in there. And I kind of picked up my pace a little bit, got to the end. Dude, give me the cigarette, now. What, you ain't got any? I said, give me the damn cigarette. That's like, sometimes people just do not think. Alright, this is a half hour long. We're done with the babbling fat guy and the camera, guys. Yes, I had the door open for the shave. It's hotter than hell in this house, and especially in this bathroom. So anyways, y'all take care. Done with the babbling fat guy and the camera. You're in the chair next. Happy shaves out there, guys.